I actually would tell you, I fascinate sometimes over losing everything. And then having you guys write articles like, see, he wasn't that good, he was so full of shit, and then rising like a phoenix and being like, fuck you.
Coffee?
Yes,
Food?
that'd be great.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you. Nice view, huh?
Gary, please.
Thank you. Good morning. You know, it's funny, I was in Mexico City, there was some sort of speaker, just really intelligent, I didn't understand a word he was saying, but one of the things he said was 85% of what we do is irrational. And it was a really interesting moment for me, because when we talk about disruption and change and things of that nature, you have to understand, my dad was made fun of constantly in 1996 and 7 by all his liquor store friends for not opening a second liquor store and letting his son launch a website. There are people in this room, I'm looking at the age group, that remember very strong conversations in 1994 through 1998 that the internet itself was a fad. Not that Snapchat is a fad, not that Vine or Twitter is a fad, that the whole fucking platform was a fad. We're living through, this is for, actually, bear with me for 5 minutes because I'm gonna be talking to myself, you're just gonna hear it. We're living through a far bigger culture shift than anybody in this room, including myself, realizes.
How do you balance your own signal to noise? How is this room supposed to figure out what to pay attention to and what to disregard?
I'm not sure, but I know it's gonna be the variable of your success. Right? Like I don't know, like, hey, you're asking like, how do we make good strategic decisions that become the framework of where we dictate our behavior? I don't know. What I will tell you is it's a lot more listening than it is talking. And I talk a lot. I think you get a sense of my energy, like I'm always talking. D-Rock's filming me right now, I produce content every single day. I'm always talking, but I'm sneakily mainly paying attention. And so I produce content for reaction so I can contextualize that reaction and understand the vibe of the ecosystem. There are way too many people building companies. I'm talking to startups now, I have a lot of passion for this space. You're building it in a silo. You're building it for how you see the world playing out without spending a lot of time with customers. So I think the way that you eliminate noise is go to the source of what you want. Thank you. Hey man, good to see you.
Good to see you too. You talked earlier about that client who wanted to reach 22 to 29-year-olds with TV and radio.
Yes.
How did you convince them not to do that?
You know, I don't convince anybody. I tell them the only thing you can do in this environment is Instagram and Snapchat and a little bit, and Facebook actually has a lot more attention of 20 to 30 than the world realizes. It's a very take it or leave it thing. I don't convince them. My clients, as big as we are, as much clout as I have, as like, why would they hire Vayner, are still probably executing in the ballpark of 4 to 6% of our stuff.
Really?
Really. Think about that. So, but I don't spend any energy on convincing people that aren't convincible. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
none.
Absolutely.
It's just not a good game. But you know what's fun? I walk in with the same energy I walk here. I fucking drill it. I'm like, Roman, you have to fucking do this. It's the only right thing. And then I guess I'm empathetic to that. I'm in client services. Like, there's plenty of places where I get to make the final decision. In that environment, I don't. And what's really worked for me, and I think here's the real punchline to give you real, I'm gonna win. Like the reason we're at 4 to 6% from 0% last year is they saw that I was right. How you doing?
Hi, by the way.
How are you? Roberta, real pleasure. Information. Yep. I'm pretty much live my life double mic.
Yes, double mic.
I need to get a double mic t-shirt, D-Rock. I just think you've got to rethink the entire thing, but to break through the noise, by definition, you have to do something fundamentally different than what everybody else is doing, and everybody else is doing the same thing. I call it the Taylor Swift rule. So I think Taylor Swift hacked culture. I think Kanye does it as well, believe it or not. Here's what they do. You scale the unscalable if you want to break through the noise today. So let me explain. What Taylor Swift's very good at is she knows that when people tweet her and say, Taylor, come to my wedding and sing me a song, she actually does it. Here's why she does it. The 75-minute allocation of her time to do something like that is not ROI positive for Taylor based on what she makes for her time. However, the amplification of doing something that makes no sense on paper is where she gets all her value. So I get yelled at by all my smartest CEO friends, the most fancy gals and guys on earth, for still answering all these tweets and emails and replying one by one on Snapchat. But I know that depth is far more interesting than width in a world where the width has just become completely, obnoxiously loud and impossible to break through. The truth is, there are characters that look like me running around. There are people that understand, I know, not that many, but you can get somebody into an honest conversation because they do not have aligned interests. They don't, and they start the relationship with knowing each other not at all, and that's the closest on aligned interest they'll ever be. And this is all that happens. And it breaks. So to me, let's just fucking get it out of the way. I just think communication's very valuable. Like it just works and just nobody does it. Like really, I mean, great communicators win in life, especially, back to why I married my wife 5 seconds into our first date, especially if you're lucky enough to find another great communicator. And that's where client relationships and that's where business partnerships are. I just think it's better to know that it's not gonna work up front. Thank you. For me, all my diamonds come from the friction of how I see things versus how I'm hearing everybody else talk about them. And so that's where my practicality comes from because what I consider the irrational, back to that much, is helping me understand, listen, just because I believe this, if the consumer or the target is not gonna go there, it's not gonna matter how I see it. I mean, I have no interest in being historically right in a 150-year window. I'll be fucking dead. Right. All right, take care, guys. All right, ready? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, take care of yourself. Yeah. Thank you. All right, we're stuck in an elevator here. That's fun. Listen, if I could, and this is a DNA thing, but anything I can do to subtract emotion and romance out of your body, I would.
Just wild, entrepreneurship's so based on passion.
But passion and delusion are two very different things.